Hello and welcome to the Philippines. This is a newfangled temperature sensor they have at Gaisano Mall, Island Mall over on Lapu-Lapu, Mactan Island. And I could see where it could create a backup of people. Didn't seem to be working very rapidly anyway, this particular day. Maybe it needs to warm up first, not real certain. But it takes your temperature from a distance like that. I saw something like that on a video from Malaysia as well at the airport.
Bilangin yung kuan ba? 36 lang 2.7.
Oh.
Okay na. Alright. Thank you.
And I believe that now, see that divider there between the motorbike driver and she is waiting for her husband. And if you have a divider like that, I think there's two approved, but they haven't made it out to the marketplace very rapidly. So people are making their own homemade dividers. If you're husband and wife, if you're living together, gay, lesbian, all those other letters, I believe that you can ride two people on a motorbike if you have a divider and you're living together. How you're supposed to prove that, I'm not quite certain. There is the obvious debate in the Philippines about whether that is safe or unsafe to have something like that strapped on. Over on Mactan Island, Lapu-Lapu town, and some of the other towns, things are getting not quite back to normal, but they are in a loosened. The economy is a little bit looser. The quarantine is not as strict, so their business is operating. I believe the mayor over there mandated that companies need to have transportation for their employees. So my friend's daughter works over there, and a van picks her up, takes her to work. They have a MEPS, a manufacturing type industrial park, two of those on Lapu-Lapu. Very large companies, many employees. I think 600 employees where she works. Electronics company, big Timex company over there. And they have buses and vans, all the different companies that pick up the passengers and pick up the workers and bring them to work, take them home at the end of their shift. The place she works even has their own medical clinic, so they have they can take care of medical issues right there on site as well. Electronics and electronic exports is actually a big part of the Philippine economy. And hopefully it will become a much bigger part as thousands and tens of thousands of companies will be leaving, have been and are leaving China, looking at other countries to set up their shops in with all the major issues with the present situation. And everybody having all their eggs in one basket, so to speak. There in China, they have found out that the supply chain when shut down, it is shut down. Not much they can do about it. And China being a communist country with very tight control on the people, tighter, a lot of human rights issues over there, doesn't help their case at all. Anyway, we're going around the side. The airport will be off to the right up here. My friend is actually headed over to a furniture manufacturer over here. Metamorfose, I believe. I'll show you a little bit there when we get over there. She had a camera taking some video for me. And anyway, some infrastructure going on. And over the last year, I've seen quite a bit of infrastructure going on. Drainage pipe going in, electrical lines being put in the ground, inside of tubes, little, I don't know what you call them, sleeves that go underground to protect the wires, fiber cable, other types of cables, I'm sure. Not sure of the details. Roads being widened. They've got a new bridge coming in from the south side of Mactan Island, so they're expanding some of the roads up here. In many countries, you would have people out here with flags directing the traffic when you have a one-lane road like this. But in the Philippines, oftentimes you don't. People just they they take their turn, and it's part of the culture. Very seldom do you see road rage, that type of thing. It's a slower pace. Metamorfose is a company that makes rattan type furniture, relatively big. They've got at least 2 plants over here on Mactan Island. There are a number of companies in Mandawi that do that type of thing, and over here on Mactan Island, Mandawi City, next to Cebu City. And there are a number of furniture companies that have, I know one of my friends, an industrial engineer, she works over in Vietnam, a company that, few of the furniture companies, used to be many, many more here in the Philippines. Mandawi City was one of the major manufacturing of furniture areas, and a few of those companies have gone overseas for a number of reasons. Cost of doing business, the regulations, I guess, that type of thing. And anyway, hopefully the Philippines can, they're trying to become more competitive to reduce some of the regulatory steps it takes to start a business and to stay in business. And I think they're talking about, they've got one of the higher tax rates, I believe, for industry as well. And I think they're talking about lowering that to about, I think, from 30 to 25%, if I remember correctly. And that should help. There was an incentive that I think it expired. There were a few companies looking at expanding their big plants in Cebu, other parts of the Philippines, and because that incentive, I remember reading about it, but I don't remember the details, because the incentive did expire or is going to expire. They have decided not to expand here, go elsewhere, look at expanding into Cambodia, Vietnam, places like that. Anyway, we want to see the Philippines be a big player in industry and draw in a lot more business and industry. One thing they really need is more jobs for the Filipinos. And anyway, Metamorphose up there, I'll do a separate video about that. Quite interesting place, the manufacturing and the products that they have. Anyway, thank you for coming along. Stay safe, stay healthy, and I'll see you next time.